lines as a way to feed hard-pressed consumers.
At Sainsbury's till Tuesday, these basics pre-packed fruit and veg are just 40p.
39% of shoppers are now buying more budget-owned label brands as part of their weekly shop. So as more and more people are buying the supermarket's cheaper food ranges, I want to know what's in them and how they taste. And for me, this is key. Can they be made better? Can the main ingredients be improved? And if so, at what cost? We've asked two families to take part in an experiment. The Johnsons are, where possible, sourcing their food from local producers rather than the supermarkets.
Did you like it? No, I loved it.
And the Fergusons are living on food from a range of supermarket budget lines.
Very nice. I'm not a lover of tinned vegetables. I prefer fresh vegetables, but I suppose we've got to try everything in the value range, haven't we?
Today, the Fergusons are cooking homemade burgers from economy mince.
As you can see, I'm on my second drip tray. I didn't even know I didn't even know where the second drip tray was because we've never used it. So the mince is, this is definitely.
That's the fat coming out.
That's the fat coming out now, and they're near enough cooked now.
Out the value
and that's what's already come out.
Yeah.
Dispatches is examining the content of cheaper supermarket food. We're testing for key elements of supermarket products, comparing the value lines with their more expensive equivalents. We're also comparing the package information available to the consumer when purchasing these products. Our second test examined the level of protein in ready-made burgers, comparing the cheapest and the most expensive available in particular supermarkets. In most cases, the cheaper product contained less protein than the more expensive burger. Asda's premium burger contained 23.2 grams per 100 grams of protein. The cheaper burger had 20. Sainsbury's more expensive burger had 22.9 grams of protein. The cheaper version contained 19.4. Iceland's premium burger had 25.7 grams of protein. The cheaper burger had 18.2. Tesco premium burger had 18.9 grams of protein. Their budget burger had 14.3. Morrison's frozen premium quarter pounders had 18.8 grams. The cheaper product contained 14.7. But Aldi bucked the trend. Its cheaper burgers had 18.7 grams. The more expensive product had 17.4. Lidl does not carry a budget beef burger.
The protein content of burgers is essentially a reflection of the meat content. So the higher the meat content, the higher the protein content, and vice versa. And that's because a larger component of the cheaper burger is going to be made up of rusk or starch or some other ingredient that contains less protein or no protein at all.
Dispatches asked all 7 supermarkets whether the protein differences were caused by varying meat content. Asda and Iceland confirmed this. No one else did, but all made clear that packaging specified protein levels in products.
How is your dinner today?
Very nice, thank you very much.
Halfway through the Fergusons' experiment, and some economy lines are faring well.
Your football breakfast this morning, Finlay, is bacon, beans and toast. All value stuff, and what does it taste like?
Same as always.
Others they're finding an issue with.
So what do you think of the tomato and vegetable soup?
It's a bit watery.
We've never had these before. You don't get a lot. You don't get the same amount in them.
Don't you? What do you think, Dad?
You don't
John, why have you got a baby spoon?
Credit crunch.
Mummy, what you making?
Just down the road, the Johnsons are facing a challenge of a different sort. They've reduced their weekly food bill to £95. It's the same amount as the other family, the Fergusons.
All right.
But we've asked Jane Johnson to, where possible, source food away from the supermarkets and then see exactly how much it costs them.
So, Richard, Jane, halfway through the exercise, how are you finding it?
Quite difficult this week with the budget and the shopping. I have stuck to the budget, but it's been very hard.
What about leftovers and waste? Is there much of that?
At the end of the first week, you know, I opened the fridge door and there was literally a quarter of a pint of milk, and that was it. It was as if, you know, the fridge only looks like that when we're going on holiday.
Jane's now discovering outlets that she's not used before. Today, she heads for the local nursery.
The raspberry and blackcurrant was nice, wasn't it? Got all the fruit in that.
Jane has made some of her biggest savings by sourcing her vegetables locally.
I've been to a local nursery and I've kept my vegetables all week, and they still look as fresh as they did the day I bought them.
Dispatches looked at fruit and veg. Britons love their tomatoes, and we spend £150 million a year on them, mostly in the supermarkets. We tested a range of tomatoes sold at supermarkets for the antioxidant lycopene.
Lycopene is a very powerful antioxidant.
Antioxidants are good, aren't they?
Antioxidants are very good. There's certainly a lot of evidence that lycopene is very good for fighting prostate cancer in gentlemen of a certain age, which is nice to know.
It is.
And generally antioxidants are thought to have health-giving, certainly cancer-fighting properties.
Where possible, we examined the cheapest and the most expensive tomatoes in each of the 7 supermarkets. On each comparison, the premium tomato had significantly more lycopene than the cheaper equivalent. Aldi's vine tomatoes contained 5.1 milligrams of lycopene per 100 grams of tomato. The cheaper tomatoes had 3.4. Asda's premium tomato had 6.5 milligrams of lycopene. The cheaper tomatoes had 3.6. The Iceland premium tomatoes had 5.5 milligrams. The budget range, which contained more tomatoes, had 3.3. Morrison's vine tomatoes registered 5.1 milligrams of lycopene. The salad tomatoes had 4.1. Sainsbury's, there was 5.2 milligrams of the antioxidant in the premium tomato and 3.6 in the cheaper product. And Tesco, 5.5 milligrams in their vine tomatoes and 3.4 in their cheaper line. Lidl only offer one tomato product, and in this we found 3.8 milligrams of lycopene. So clearly there was a difference in the levels of lycopene. The question is, why?
I obviously don't know too much about exactly how they were produced, but I would suggest it's probably that the more lycopene will be the better ripened tomatoes. Ones haven't been forced through the process quite as much. They've had more time to develop these natural components within them.
Each of the 7 supermarkets pointed out that there was no recommended daily intake for lycopene. None sell tomatoes forced through the ripening process. 93% of our groceries come from supermarkets. Despite the economic downturn, sales figures for the main supermarkets were good in the 12-week run-up to Christmas. Sainsbury's sales rose by over 5% compared to the same period the previous year. Asda and Morrison's showed growths of 7% and 10% respectively, while Tesco saw a rise of 4%. There was a strong performance from the discounters. Aldi's sales were up by 22% in December alone. While sales figures have varied between supermarkets, research commissioned for Dispatches shows their profit margins have remained broadly consistent at 5% over the last 5 years.
The reason that the supermarkets are able to continue making good profit margins even during recessions is that they have a strategy of providing own label products. And the own label products allow customers who are feeling price conscious to trade down, if you will. The own label products are cheaper to buy in for the supermarkets. They cost less. They're also paying less to their suppliers, and so they can maintain their profit margins at around that steady 5%. So that means that their profits overall do not tend to fall when recessions actually occur.
It's week 3, and today the Fergusons are buying their food from Morrison's. The family are living on cheap economy-line supermarket food for 4 weeks. The Bradford-based chain is now Britain's 4th biggest supermarket. Last year, it reported a record 66% increase in pre-tax profits to over £583 million. Its value range of cheaper goods has proved popular, contributing to a 4% growth in sales. The Fergusons have used Morrison's own label budget line to make tonight's dinner.
Ready?
Yeah.
Look what I have cooked tonight. Well, our first attempt. Sign me up for MasterChef. Only kidding.
This is the chicken lasagna.
Tasty.
Delicious.
Excellent.
I think it's lovely.
Dominic used fresh chicken breast for his lasagna, but frozen chicken breasts are also offered as part of the value ranges in the supermarkets. The poultry industry is big business. 860... Dispatches looked at chicken breasts sold by a range of supermarkets. Many chilled and frozen breasts contained 100% meat, but we found some products that didn't, and there may be more. Asda's Smart Price chicken breast fillets contained 82% chicken. The rest of the ingredients listed were water and salt. Iceland's Grade A skinless, boneless chicken breast fillets contained 85% chicken. The rest were water, salt, stabilizers and polyphosphates. Morrison's skinless chicken breast fillets stated 88% chicken on the packet. The rest was water, salt and stabilizers. Tesco's skinless and boneless chicken breast fillets had 84% meat. The rest was water, salt and dextrose. Water in chicken? What's that all about? I'm intrigued by the way industrial food manufacturers manage to get more bang for their buck by bulking up some of their ingredients. Heston.
Mate, how you doing?
I'm very well. Say hello.
Hello.
So, Heston, what I've got for you.
I think I've seen one of them before.
What are you going to do for us?
Right, so the first step, I'll just remove the breasts.
Okay.
And the idea is to keep one of the breasts under control, do nothing to it.
Yep.
And then with the other breast, we're going to inject to try and incorporate as much water into it as we can. So we've got 167.5 grams in weight for that chicken breast.
I'll be a lovely assistant and take a note of that.
Next stage is to inject the breast. So in order to do that, I need one of these. I'm going to inject with this solution here, which is water, into which has been dissolved salt.
Yep.
And there's this. Now this is polyphosphate. The reason for adding polyphosphates is they will retain the moisture in the meat. If you don't put this in, all that water and fat that's been incorporated is just going to run out.
It's going to run out when you cook it?
Yes. And lastly, this is liquid glucose. More chicken flavour.
As it isn't harmful, there are no restrictions on the level of water a producer can inject to bulk out a chicken breast. One popular wholesaler selling chicken breasts to the retail market has pumped up the breast with 40% water. We found really cheap chicken breasts with 40% water. Some of the supermarket brands have 15% water. What do you think we'll be able to get into?
Up to 40%?
Up to 40%. Do you think you'd be able to do that?
Well, that's more than that syringe full. I don't, well, there's only one way to find out,
there is.
You can see the breast coming up as I pull the needle out.
Oh, I can. You just see it swelling. You can actually see it inflating.
So these are actually from the same chicken?
No, you wouldn't. So you'd think you're actually getting much more for your money if you had this huge breast, if you didn't know that it had actually been pumped up with water.
Right, okay, let's weigh this now.
And just in here, taken up to basically 200 grams.
About 20% increase.
In 5 minutes using one of these syringes.
With the economy sausages that Dominic bought and the sausages are wrapped in streaky bacon. I cooked the sausages first on my grill to get the fat out. It looks okay, so we'll all sit down and have this now.
So, what's the verdict?
The toad in the hole is lovely, and I think the dinner's very lovely.
Now, the British have always enjoyed a banger or two. 5 million of us eat them every day, and the market is worth over £500 million. The sausage has been the benchmark product of the budget lines. Last summer, Asda sold its own brand Smart Price pork bangers for 16 pence a pack, which works out at 2 pence per sausage. So what's in cheaper sausages? Dispatches tested the supermarket's cheaper and more expensive sausages for the level of protein they contain. In every case, cheaper products registered less protein per 100 grams in comparison to the more expensive equivalent. Sainsbury's premium sausage had 15.3 grams per 100 grams of protein. The economy product had 8.3 grams. Morrison's more expensive sausage contained 14.3 grams of protein. The cheaper line had 9. Iceland premium sausages had 12 grams. The budget sausages had 11.6. Lidl, 15.3 grams of protein in the more expensive sausages, 12.9 in the cheaper line. Tesco, 15.8 grams in their finest range, 11.2 in the budget sausages. Dispatches was unable to do a comparison on Aldi and Asda's sausage products. The 7 supermarkets pointed out that Food Standards Agency research indicates that most UK adults exceed the daily recommended intake of all nutrients, including protein, and the product packaging told consumers of the meat content in sausages they sold. We asked food technologist David Harrison to examine the contents of a range of budget sausages sold by the supermarkets. Tell us about the cheap sausages. How much meat in a cheap sausage?
Around about 40%.
40% of it is meat. Is any of that connective tissue?
Yes, indeed. Most of these products do contain connective tissue in the form of pork fat and pork rind, and some contain chicken skin.
Like beef, pork also has connective tissue, and the cheaper cuts of meat will have more of it. It's permitted if it's naturally part of the cuts of meat used. In sausages, this could take the form of pork rind, fat and sinew. Wheat flour, rusk, seasonings and added water form the rest of the sausage. So from analysing their content, could David improve the sausage in the same way as he did with the meat pies? What have you done to improve our sausages?
Very simple with the sausage. We've taken out the connective tissue and we've put more meat in.
Fair enough, seems like a good thing to do. How much meat is there in there now? We were at 40% on the cheap sausage.
It's now 54%.
Why not a bigger meat content? Why not go to an 80 or 90% pork sausage?
Well, clearly you can make a pork sausage that's pure pork plus the casing, but it would be a very expensive product, and this was intended to be a modest improvement.
With David's improvement in the meat content for our dispatches sausage, how much would that cost to make?
It's added just about 0.7, 0.8 of a pence per sausage.
So taking it from our just under 5 pence to sort of 5.7 pence a sausage?
Yes.
We're producing 2 sausages, a generic budget sausage with 40% meat, and the new improved 54% meat dispatches sausage. David tells me our sausage would have the same shelf life as other supermarket budget sausages. My meat pies went down so well, I'm back in Deptford to try out the generic supermarket-style budget sausage and my improved quality sausage on the public. We've got 2 kinds of sausage here. One is a 40% meat, value range supermarket-style sausage. Right. You help yourself, love. And the other one is 54% meat, a minimal cost increase. I want you to try them, see if you can work out which has got the more meat in it and which you prefer. So,
were they cooked today?
They were cooked over there seconds ago.
That's nice, actually.
Okay.
That's got more meat.
That one's definitely more meaty.
And you prefer it?
I think so. Yeah, I do, yeah.
Do you think the supermarket should be prepared to take a hit on their profits to sell the better quality one at the same price as the cheap one?
Why not? You know what I mean? They're making all that money.
Yeah.
Why not? You know what I mean? They can afford to.
Do you think the supermarkets should be prepared to sell this one at the same cost as this one and take the hit on their profits?
Well, they should.
Yeah, but that's utopian, isn't it? We're not going to do that.
Okay, so our sausage test wasn't as conclusive as our pie test. I'd say about 65% of the people who tested these spotted the one with more meat in it. Some of those who didn't get it right said that they were more used to the one with more fat in it because that was what they associated with a value sausage. But almost everybody we spoke to did say they thought the supermarkets should be prepared to sell these, the better quality ones, at the same price as the lower quality ones and take a hit on their profits. So I think it's been a useful day down here at Deptford Market. I'm not entirely sure I ever want to look at another sausage again, though. Do you want to try these sausages? Sausages. Do you want to try the sausages? No. In part 3, the apple pie. But how much of it is actually apple? 10% apple in an apple pie.
Yep, that's surprisingly low.
So what will the Dispatches apple pie have? Do you say this one's better?
Excuse me, I'd like to know why I'm not getting the great rate I had when I opened my savings account.
Follow me. You're no longer enjoying the introductory savings rate.
I didn't realise I was on an introductory rate. When I was over there...
The introductory part of the bank.
You gave me a cappuccino.
Introductory cappuccino.
And the biscuits?
Introductory bickies.
You were nice over there.
That'd be introductory niceness. Mind the introductory shag pile.
We don't offer confusing introductory savings rates. We keep our rates reassuringly clear and simple. Maybe that's why 10 million savers trust us with their money.
I used to lash out if somebody pushed my buttons or I wasn't able to do something. Things that wound me up were if they'd insulted me, I would physically hurt that young person. My parents sought out help with my autism because it was becoming a pain in them. I went to Action for Children school. I started being a bit more friendlier, with people. Thanks to a lot of the carers, I was able to correct a lot of errors in my behaviour and become a better person. I feel a lot more confident, and it's thanks to them. I feel a lot more at peace with myself.
We're here for as long as it takes. Action for Children.
7 lives will be changed by one man with a secret.
What are you planning to do?
From the director of The Pursuit of Happiness, Will Smith, 7 pounds.
The violence has continued for weeks. Hundreds of children have died. A whole population has been terrified. And no Western journalists have been allowed to see it as it happened. So, when you watched the news, what were you not being shown?
Featuring footage that hasn't aired on mainstream television, Jon Snow presents a special dispatches on the recent offensive and examines the impact of Israel's decision to ban foreign journalists from the war zone. Unseen Gaza, tonight at 11:05 on 4.
It's the 3rd week of the Dispatch's Cheap Food Challenge. With money tight, both the Ferguson and Johnson families from Leeds would like to get their food bills down to £95 a week. So how are they doing? The Fergusons are living on economy supermarket products for a month.
We're really struggling at the minute. I mean, we're having to go from one supermarket to the next just to find what we're looking for, aren't we?
We can't find what we're looking for.
So would there be any products that you would continue to buy then from the value range?
I don't see any problem with still buying the vegetables. It's just, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just they're limited. You can only get basic vegetables, but yeah, I'd still buy them, yeah.
Their friends, the Johnsons, are finding alternative ways to source their food.
Well, I went to that local butcher this week, and his prices are really good, and it was like these value packs for families for a full week shop meat for the week. So I think next week I'll be well with them.
After initially finding it difficult to source her food away from the supermarkets, Jane Johnson has discovered the local markets in Leeds.
A bag of 6 of those, please, yeah. So they're the only brown ones you do? Yeah, I'll have 4 of them, please. I've never shopped in the market for my food before, ever. Right, then what vegetables would you want for Sunday dinner?
Jane's now finding buying her food at the smaller grocers means she's making savings.
Because there's so many fruit and veg guys together and the butchers together, it is very competitive because they're competing against each other. The only downside is having to carry it all to the car because we've got to park quite a way away.
The total cost of today's shop at Leeds Market has come in at £48.24. Jane bought most of what she needed for the week, and so she's come in almost half under budget. Alison Ferguson has been saving even more money. Her average spend on the supermarket's economy lines has been around £50 a week. This week she's bought her food from Sainsbury's. The supermarket is the 3rd largest after Tesco and Asda, reporting pre-tax profits of nearly £240 million last year. Over Christmas, its sales were up 4.5% on the previous year, with its own brand Basics economy foods performing particularly well. Sales of this range are up 40% as customers trade down from the premium lines.
Right, Monday morning I've just been to do the main shop for the week. Been to Sainsbury's this time.
For the Fergusons, one of the difficulties has been sourcing certain products. Today, Alison found what she needed.
I actually managed to get some mixed herbs in the basics range at Sainsbury's. I haven't been able to find them anywhere else. They also had a selection of fresh fish as well. What's the fish like? Have you tried it?
Yeah, your fish is well nice.
Is it nice?
Yeah. Nice?
Nice. Okay.
Today, they're having economy pizza.
So, Mummy, how is it?
It's okay, well, for what it is. Not much cheese on it. It's fine for a Saturday lunchtime.
Dispatches is analysing a range of supermarket foods to see what's in them. Our next test was cheese. We consume 430,000 tonnes of it every year, 63% of which is bought at the supermarkets. Growing in popularity are cheese slices, ready-made for use in sandwiches for those of us too lazy to slice the cheese ourselves. In 5 of our 7 representative supermarkets, we found cheap cheese slices and tested them for calcium levels per 100 grams. The singles containing the lowest calcium levels by far were sold by the discounters, Aldi and Lidl. Much higher calcium was recorded in the cheese slices bought in Asda, Morrison's and Tesco. These products registered twice the amount of calcium the Lidl slices contained.
If you're a mum using a product like cheese singles to make packed lunches, it's important to remember that they don't contain the same amount of calcium that you would get in regular portions of cheese.
Aldi told dispatchers it was committed to meeting FSA standards and was currently testing an added calcium product. Lidl said it was reviewing its cheese slice recipe. We've demonstrated that increasing the meat content in a beef pie from 18 to 25% and a sausage from 40 to 54% can be done for less than a penny. And they went down well with the public too.
That one's got more taste.
So what's next?
Time for dessert. Apple pie is synonymous with home cooking. But what goes into the very cheapest apple pies that the supermarkets sell? And can we make them better for minimal price increase? Let's find out.
We've asked food technologist David Harrison to analyse a range of supermarket apple pies.
So David, what have you found in terms of the amount of apple in the filling of those pies?
We found a range of results, but averaging out at around about 14% apple.
Did you find any that were less than 14% apple?
Yes, we did. We found figures as low as 10% on more than one sample.
10% apple in an apple pie?
Yes.
Barely deserves the name, does it?
An apple-ish pie.
Apple-ish pie. And what about better than 14%?
Yes, 14% was pretty mid-range across the range of samples, and we found up to 20% at the top end of the range.
What was the rest?
Well, obviously a large part of any pie is pastry, but even within the filling we found sugar syrups, gelling agents and small amounts of preservatives.
David's analysis of the average supermarket apple pie is 14% apple. So his final task is to make an improved apple pie with more fruit. Let's call it the J. Rayner Dispatches Apple Pie, and hopefully at a cost that won't make my eyes water.
Well, the better pie has got 20% more filling in each pie and 15% more apple within that filling.
The all-important question, how much does it cost to improve our 14% pie to our 20% apple pie?
It's going to cost just over 0.7 of a pence per pie, or round about 4.5p for a typical pack of 6. Even the improved version is not the best apple pie in the world, but it is a significant improvement, we believe.
Okay, now what I have here are 2 types of apple pie. One is like a generic value range supermarket pie with about 14% apple, and we've got one which we've improved at minimal extra cost with a little extra apple in it. Yeah. We want you to try them, tell us which you prefer, and I'll tell you which is which.
There you go. A lot of pastry.
Which one do you think has more apple in it?
That one.
Okay. It does, you're absolutely right. This is the one with more apple.
I reckon that's the cheap one, actually.
You're spot on.
The difference between 14 and 20 is not a great deal, 6%.
You say this one's better?
Mm-hmm. I'll say that that one has the greater apple content.
Actually, it's this one.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. If you went into a supermarket and you were in the market for an apple pie, would you be prepared to pay a little bit more for one with more apples?
Obviously, because you want to eat apples, you don't want to eat pastry.
Do you think supermarkets have a responsibility to improve the quality of their very cheapest food, but take the hit on their own profits to do so?
Yeah. It's a healthy nation.
Almost everyone spotted the pie with more apple in it. Alongside beef pies and sausages, that's another budget product with more of the key ingredient, but still costing little to make.
We've shown that you can improve a basic economy product at minimal cost, pennies in fact, and that most people think that the supermarkets in a recession should take the hit. But will they? I'm off to see the spokesman for an organisation that represents most of the supermarkets to see if it's something they might consider. We're looking at those very cheapest products. We've gone for the value ranges. We all know why those are on the shelves. And we're finding things like a beef pie with 18% beef in it, or a pork sausage with just 40% pork. I think some people will find it quite startling just how low those product ingredient contents levels are.
Well, I think they're good quality, good value products for the price, and customers know that when they go into the stores. The other thing you need to remember about supermarkets, they've led the way in labelling of all their products. They make it very clear for all of us when we go in that we can make a very simple choice between the products and the price that we pay.
What I find myself wondering is if, as we've proved, we feel we have, it's possible to improve the quality of products at really minimal price increases, why this doesn't happen.
All supermarkets know if they don't offer the right products at the right value to their customers, they will go somewhere else and they will purchase it somewhere else. And therefore it's not in their interest not to deliver the best value. And that's why all of the supermarkets are going through exactly the exercise that you've been going through and then ending up and putting those products back onto their shelves.
I wonder if it's not possible for the supermarkets to improve the quality of some of these value range products, the very cheapest products on the shelves, and then frankly take the hit on their own profits to subsidise those on the very lowest income. After all, they have such a stranglehold on the retail food market. Would it not come under the heading of social responsibility to do so?
Supermarkets make a very, very small margin on the products that they sell. They are already handing that value back to the customers. All of the work that they've done in the last year or so to cope with very high commodity prices has been in the interests of the consumers. They make a small margin on the products, and the real winners in this are customers, not only in the increased range and availability of the value products that you've been looking at, but also the price.
Well, a month has passed and I'm back in Leeds to see how our families have fared through the experiment we set them. What has it taught them about the realities of living on cheap food?
First, I'm visiting the Fergusons, who have cooked and eaten pretty much as they always have done, the difference being in the last 4 weeks they've done so by buying the supermarket economy lines. Usually they spend over £500 a month on food, but living on the budget product for a month costs them just over £200, so a £300 saving.
So Alison, as we come to the end of this month-long experiment, are there any products you'll carry on buying?
The vegetables we could get hold of were fine, it was just that they were limited, so I'd still buy the potatoes and buy the onions to try and feed a family from it totally all the time is very difficult.
And now here is the real key question. You've done it for a month, you kept up with the experiment. What do you do to celebrate the end?
I think we can have a Chinese tomorrow, don't you?
I think you have fully earned it. Well done.
Meanwhile, just round the corner at the Johnsons' house, it's time for the Last Supper. The family have spent the last month finding alternative ways to buy their food from smaller grocers. Before the experiment, they also spent around £500 a month on food, but over the last month, they spent £343, so a saving of over £150.
So what will you take away from this experiment into the rest of your shopping life?
I think it's probably taught us that we bought too much. We couldn't physically eat what we bought for the week, and then that's why we had so much waste.
Good.
Yeah. But, you know, and also as well to shop around and don't just assume that you're going to get the best deals in one shop.
And you clearly feel you got on top of it by the end of it, but it was tough.
Yeah, it has been hard, as I've mentioned, but I can shop a lot easier during the week and just pick bits up, and they'll stay within, you know, a more reasonable budget. But without a shadow of a doubt, I won't be spending £150 a week at the supermarkets like I used to do.
Are you going to recommend this to all your friends?
Of course.
There's no doubt that cheap supermarket food is really very cheap, but we've shown that you can make it better and it can still be cheap. The question is, where does the responsibility lie to do so? Is it ultimately all down to the supermarkets? Let's be clear, we're talking about really low-income shoppers here, people on a very tight budget. And when you're down there, you're not buying food for aesthetic reasons, you're doing so out of necessity. So if you have no choice, the responsibility must lie elsewhere. Clearly, the supermarkets need to make money. They have responsibilities to their shareholders. But I believe that with market power comes other social responsibilities. After all, this is the health of the nation that we're talking about.
Monday from 9, Channel 4, the champion of poultry is back. Hugh Friendly Whittingstall loves his chicks. Chickens, Hugh, and Tesco too. Next tonight, Who Dares wins. Are you brave enough for Celebrity Big Brother?
My show, to be honest, will be the best of the lot of them, honestly. If you like bacon, sausages, then this is a show for you. I'm going to walk you through the whole pig industry that needs our help in Great Britain. From the piglet to the plate, it's called Jamie Saves Our Bacon. Got to watch it. Without question, mine will be better than everyone else's because I put a bit more effort in.
Jamie Saves Our Bacon, next Thursday at 9.
Welcome to Planet U. Your intestines, to be precise. Here are some of the 100 trillion bacteria that call this 24-foot ecosystem home. These friendly Lactobacillus casei shirota are found in Yakult and have been proven by our scientists to help the beneficial bacteria multiply and thrive. A healthy gut makes for stronger natural defenses. Yakult, taking care of Planet U.
Citroën C4 Picasso, the car that brings the outside inside. This month you can get both the 7-seat and 5-seat C4 Picasso and pay no VAT.
Number 7 Protect and Perfect. Now the #1 anti-aging skincare range in the UK. And now you can buy 3 number 7 products for the price of 2. Until the 27th of January, only at Boots.
I need you to have sex with Christina Yang.
Good morning. There's no good way to say this. I'm carrying your child.
We know you love our doctors.
Love the outfit.
So, we're cutting the waiting time.
Is that good?
Very good.
There's only one channel that brings you brand new Grey's Anatomy months before anywhere else.
Take off your pants. Thank you.
The UK premiere of Grey's Anatomy Series 5, only on Living.
Much better, much easier.
You don't have to be a computer wizard.
You've only got 4 pages. You get your results straight away.
Lots of big brands.
Churchill, Admiral, Swinton, Sheila's Wills.
Elephant.
The choice is wonderful. Oh, so much better.
I saved over £100 on my car insurance. The new website is a winner. I absolutely love it.
The all-new Confused.com. The choice is clear.
Hats off to the excitement lovers who think you can never have too much fun. Think Lotto.
Right now at Waitrose, choose from a selection of meals for 2, main course, side dish, dessert and a bottle of wine, all for £10. Enjoy.
To help you get on, we have friendly Learn Direct tutors online, on the phone and in our centres. Visit learndirect.co.uk or give us a call.
We're a nation that loves our bacon.
Hey, bacon!
and sausage ready.
But how much do we love our pigs?
I think pigs have a very raw deal.
Jamie's on a mission
We're celebrating British pigs and British pork.
to get British pork back on your fork.
Whatever you think of the lowest British welfare standards, it's nothing as bad as this. That's as visually shocking as the chicken in a battery cage.
Turning a studio into a sty.
We're about to see live births on the show. Welcome to the world, little piglet.
To bring you the benefits of buying British.
From piglet to plate. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. The welfare of a pig is so incredibly important.
Jamie Saves Our Bacon, part of the Great British Food Fight, next Thursday at 9 on 4.
Right at the centre of a high-profile love triangle, Dodi Al Fayed. What really happened? 10 o'clock. First on 4, Strong Language. Tonight, I dare you to watch Celebrity Big Brother.
For a great night's sleep in your house. Dreams, Britain's favourite bed specialist.